Hi,
Hi,
nice
nice
to
to
meet
meet
you.
you.
My name is Sunny. My major is chemistry.
My name is Susan. My major is statistics.
My name is Woong and my major is chemical engineering.
Now we are talking about our major.
First,
Introduction of each major. I'm talking about history of chemistry. Science has started at 600 BC by Greek philosopher Aristoteles. He defined the components of the cosmos: air, fire, water, and earth. This theory is retained during 2000 years. Chemistry is established to invented subject by Boyle in England. Dalton defined conception of atom. Lavoisier laid the foundation of modern chemistry. Mendeleev made a periodic table of the elements. At last, scientists found more smaller particles than atoms. There are protons and neutrons, which consist of atoms. And I'm talking about importance of chemistry. Can you remember what did you do at this morning?
I washed my face and wear my clothes.
All of these have relevance to chemistry. So chemistry is influential in a minor incident. Furthermore, chemistry is important in our society. Chemistry is a subject which studies composition and feature of materials. So chemistry seems like basic of other fields of science. As society improves, engineering chemistry is necessary in technical development. New drug development also use organic chemistry. Chemistry can be applied everywhere, and if we can't apply chemistry to many fields, we will not have our everyday lives.
Statistics is the science of running from data, counting and communicating uncertainty. Statistics plays a critical role in our daily life, covering many areas such as weather forecast, public surveys, and sports science. Of course, statistics was used in the past. Um, Population census and land investigation were conducted in past, and it is one example of statistics.
Chemical engineering is one of engineering majors to study how to set up process to make a chemical products in a more efficient way. Chemical engineers use mathematical and physical and chemical ways to solve a practical problem in chemical reaction, and they study both chemistry and physics related to thermodynamics and hydrodynamics and polymer engineering and organic chemistry. And unlike the chemistry, like the chemistry, you have to study much more physics in chemical engineering because the efficient process setting is closely related to mechanical movement and energy. And also, the chemistry focus on the chemical reaction itself, but the chemical engineering focus on the whole process to make a huge amount of chemicals in a more cheaper way. And from the heavy industry to the medicines, chemical engineering is used in various fields. And first of all, we can think about the lithium battery in Galaxy Note 7, even though they are all exploded, but Samsung can produce thousands of batteries during one day. And the farmers in 21st century use hundreds of kilograms of fertilizers in their field. And all of this situation, chemical engineering is necessary for the efficient production. This is why the chemical engineering is important to our society. Second.
Careers of each majors. I'm talking about researcher and pharmacist. Chemistry is related to several industries. So most chemical university graduates elect their main interesting field in chemistry. There are food engineering, medicine manufacture, and cosmetic products. So in each industry, researchers studies about chemical substance which assist each company. And if you want to be a pharmacist, you should have a pharmacy as your major. In Korea, you must complete other course during 2 years and take a test. You can enter the College of Pharmacy. I recommended chemistry as a major of 2 years because chemistry is the most related major to pharmacy. Pharmacists always work in drugstores, which are located near hospitals. They compound the drugs and sell it. Medicine directly affects our bodies, so pharmacist is essential job in our society.
statistics is a very useful study in itself, but also if you do double major, computer science, mathematics, accounting, economy, statistics will be more powerful study. Most of graduates get into major company and financial institution, and they can be also government officer and research worker and professor too. Among them, I think big data specialist is a very rising career. Do you know big data?
Yes, I
Yes.
know.
As you know, big data is emerging as important and have many advantages. Big data makes our life easier and more comfortable, and big data specialists find a new additional value from a large amount of raw data and predict the future. There are many cases using big data analogy in our life.
If you want to study more specific subject in chemical engineering, working in the laboratory as a professional researcher can be a good choice for you. You can get not only degrees but also fame as a chemical researcher. And recently, convergence between chemistry and other technologies such as biotechnology or neuroscience gets spotlight in science field. So if you have interest in research or experiment, there will be a place for you. And with your chemical engineer license, you can work as an instructor in engineering high school or worker trainer in Korean industries. And you can teach some special subjects like chemical engineering or artificial fabric production. And if you want to study more about your major, you can continue your own research while teaching your student. Sir.
Spotlight of each major. There are Robert Lefkowitz and Brian Kobilka. They are awarded 2012 Nobel Prize in Chemistry. They researched how does billion of cells in our body sense their environment. Their work focused on what are called G protein coupled receptors. Their work has influenced the field of new drug development. I was influenced by them too. I became interested about correlation between chemistry and biology, and I decided my future course as a researcher of drug or pharmacist when I was in high school.
I'm about to introduce some researchers who have made a great achievement to statistics. First, he's Pascal. He came up with combination and permutation and some basis of probability theory. And second, he is William Silly Gosset, and he invented the theory of small sample that becomes a basis of modern time statistics. And he also invented the theory of estimation, and it is an important thing of statistics. And finally, he's Adolf Kotlit, and he is known as the father of statistics, and he organized the first international statistical institute.
David, do you know her name?
Sure.
She is Marie Curie, and she is the most famous chemist in the world. And before her death, she discovered two different radioactive elements, the radium and polonium. And she also won 2 Nobel Prizes during her life in chemistry and physics. And the most interesting point in her radioactive element research is the pitchblende processing. She refined 8 tons of pitchblende to get a 0.1 gram of radium, and despite of her hard work, she showed her passion in her research. And his name is Hermann Staudinger, and he's a German chemist, and he suggested the presence of polymer. His discovery enabled the invention of artificial polymers such as plastic and polyester. And I was inspired by the story of their story, and I decided to study chemistry in university, in high school. Oh,
Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening to our presentation.
Oh, wow. Good.
Oh,
Done.
done!
Yeah.
Done!
Done.